What's going on YouTube? Thanks for tuning into the channel. Welcome to Oh So Simplified, coming to you with the video here about life always gets in the way, but you only lose if you quit. Now, this video basically comes from, just what's happening right now for me. Is like, basically it's been a while since I posted some up. I had a schedule, I had an amount of videos I wanted to put up on this channel and my other channels, and a couple other commitments I made to myself that I have definitely for the last week and a half, 2 weeks or so, fell short on. We're still in the first month of the new year, and it's like kind of quick to start falling short on things. But number one, things are always going to come up. So that's really where the first point is going to start for me, is that life is always going to get in the way. So I signed up for some things. I know I had a tournament. If you check out this weekend or early next week on my fitness channel, I'm going to have some videos that will show some of the things at the Naga tournament. Got second in the no-gi intermediate, went one and done in the gi, so had a decent showing. I kind of just popped up off the couch, really haven't trained that much, but I digress. But life is always going to get in the way, whether it's a new relationship, it's new commitments, things you planned that went wrong. A lot of the things you do when you originally create a plan is not going to work out that way, and you got to adjust and you got to do things, and you can't use that as a reason why you give up. And even if you do fall short for a couple days, a couple weeks, it's really about how you respond and how you make moves beyond that. How do you keep pushing? How do you keep doing things? How do you readjust? What is your new approach? A great example of this, if you do watch MMA, which I watch MMA, Conor McGregor just got knocked the fuck out by Dustin Poirier, where 6 years ago, Dustin Poirier got knocked the fuck out. But Dustin Poirier, if you look at his career, he's had some very bad losses at very terrible times. His loss to Conor McGregor was when he was on the rise. He switches to lightweight, gets a couple wins, loses to Michael Johnson, gets knocked out in terrible fashion for himself, builds himself all the way back up, and then he loses to Khabib, and then now he has a couple more fights, builds himself back up, and then he knocks out Conor McGregor, and now he's sitting at the top, to me, the uncrowned champ of the 155 weight class. But that's a great example of things getting in the way, things you didn't plan. What could he have done? Conor McGregor's a great fighter. Michael Johnson is a very good fighter. And Khabib obviously is an excellent fighter. And, those losses aren't anything, but those could have broken a lot of people. A lot of people would have given up in those circumstances to go back to the drawing board, build yourself back up, respond, and still be there. And then that's going to lead to my second point. One of the main things in being successful in anything is consistency. But I would say persistency, it comes first. So consistency is going to get you from, average to good to, elite. Being consistent, being able to go there. But what's going to get you started and keep you going from maybe not so great, or not a habit, or not something that's routine for you, to becoming a habit is the persistency. It's going to be you keep trying to keep pushing that in and have that be something that you're going to do. You have to be persistent enough not to give up when there are roadblocks. There's always going to be things that come up. And you're going to have that persistency to say, this is still what I want to do. This is still what I want to be at. And they're kind of very intertwined types of words. I mean, I might be playing semantics here, but consistency to me is more so, doing things every single day, or doing things in that, whatever the interval is, over and over. But persistency is fighting past when there are problems, there are things that have come up, and that is the thing that is going to allow you to even be consistent. Is like, if you're not persistent, you cannot be consistent. So that's something that's very important, something I remind myself of. And even with something like this, I mean, I had a great run in 2017 of really posting things. It didn't really work out. I did kind of, if I'm being honest, quit on myself a little bit as far as this type of business, but then I was persistent enough to pick it back up, to never give up on the idea that this is something that I wanted to do. So I got to come with a new plan, and I got to be persistent. The next thing for me is to get that consistency back up. But as I mentioned, this is going to be my most transparent channel. I'm not trying to act like I'm something I'm not, like a lot of these content creators I do see. Don't want to get too deep on that, but A lot of people I'm a little bit skeptical of, especially in the whole manosphere world. Very skeptical on a lot of people's results, but I digress. Consistency is important, but persistency comes first. And what I'm going to end this with is that you cannot run from yourself forever. And this is something that I think a lot of people need to take heed of, take to heart, and really like grasp. It might be a part that you need to listen to more than once. Is that whatever you're feeling, whatever you need to do, whatever you messed up on, whatever you failed on, you know, you're never going to run from the mind in your head that's telling you this is what I need to do. Even if you do fail, like if you know that you need to get back up and try again, you know, as that song says, you know, if first you don't succeed, you know, you got to dust yourself off and try again. Basically, like, your mind is going to keep bringing that up. There is no amount of alcohol, there's no amount of weed, there's no amount of sex, there's no amount of any type of drug, you know, that's as deep as I've ever really gotten. So I can't really speak on the heroin. Maybe there is enough, maybe it'll kill you. Don't want to say that, that's probably a little too far. But basically, there's no way you're gonna numb your mind enough to ever forget about that. And you don't want to be the person sitting on your deathbed, or sitting when you're older and your body cannot do what it used to do, and think, I wish I was back there, I would have made different decisions, I would have done things differently. Not to say you know, hindsight isn't 20/20, and you're not going to always have, you know, a better way of approaching things, so to speak, from the past. But you don't want to feel like I just completely squandered it, like I didn't do anything right, like I didn't learn anything in that time period. You don't ever want to feel like that. So that's really something that I think a lot of people need to grasp. You don't want to be that person with those types of regrets, that, you know, you ran from you, where nobody else can really ever understand what's in your mind, what's in your heart, what ability you really have, and what potential you really have. And if you never really fought to express it, especially in this day and age where a lot of the barriers are broken, compared to if you grew up in another day and age, that you really have to kind of tap into that and let that out, and not run from it, because eventually it's going to catch up to you. And you don't want to be the person that like is basically facing yourself for the first time right before you cross that sublime, that threshold to the other world of death. So that's where I'm going to leave it there on that morbid note. But if you like the content, like, comment, subscribe. If you fuck with the tribe, welcome to the, if you fuck with the vibe, welcome to the tribe. And until next time, you know what it is. Peace out.